Complex systems such as weather, climate require complex solutions. RESPR reasuring solutions represent such a class of complex solutions for weather and climate. RESPR technology is based on the new, now known as the Stalker method for CFD and NWP modeling. RESPR reasured data support the development of effective recommendations for economic growth around the world. RESPR recommendations are then translated to economic activity and gross domestic product, or GDP, growth. Unlike current scientific approaches, RESPR technology reasures precise weather and climate data at location on the globe. These RESPR data are used to generate tailored recommendations for different sectors of endeavor. By acting on these recommendations, RESPR country clients will boost productivity, reduce costs, and mitigate the impacts of climate change, if any, for their country. This results in stronger, more resilient economies that can thrive by having a better handle on weather and climate. For gaining elevated understanding, RESPR reasuring is the way forward. RESPR reasuring is equally effective for elevated understanding of past, current, and future periods. RESPR reasuring also results in more accurate rainfall amounts and related flood potential, as the case may be. RESPR technology also yields more accurate information about temperature, wind speed, humidity, solar radiation, and a host of other variables. RESPR reasuring uses high-performance computing, high-fidelity models with the built-in Stalker method upon a significant testing and validation effort. These data are then used to develop highly effective recommendations for all the chosen sectors. The exercise of developing recommendations without the supporting RESPR data will be futile, as the data being made available from the current state variable science lack the granularity needed to develop such effective recommendations. RESPR reasuring bridges the large gap that exists in currently available data, providing the detailed information that businesses, governments, and communities need to build prosperous economies. RESPR data production represents the first major step. In step 2, RESPR develops dozens of recommendations for each chosen sector. Needless to say, RESPR's recommendations are region and sector specific as well. Let's take the agriculture sector as an example. RESPR will provide farmers with specific recommendations on the optimal time to plant, irrigate, and harvest their crops. This helps to maximize yields, reduce water and fertilizer consumption, and also quantify the effects of climate change, if any, on the agriculture sector. The above is one of dozens of recommendations for the agriculture sector alone. Wildfire avoidance and management is another sector example where RESPR reasured data will be used to quantify losses. Yet, in another sector example, as urban planning, the RESPR technology will inform flood control measures and infrastructure development and management. By tailoring its recommendations to the specific needs of each sector, RESPR unlocks a new era of data-driven solutions for improved economic activity and GDP growth. RESPR then delivers how fractional GDP growth results from each recommendation for overall GDP growth. Selection of specific sectors for a client country is up to the client, but RESPR recommends a set of 10 sectors and finalizes them before starting a countrywide mapping project. By implementing RESPR's recommendations, governments and businesses will be able to make smarter investments, improve efficiency, achieve sustainable economic growth and enhance their resilience to climate change, as the change applies to their country. As mentioned before, by optimizing irrigation practices based on the RESPR reasured data, farmers can conserve water and increase crop yields. This leads to higher profits for farmers, lower food prices for consumers, and a more sustainable agricultural system. Similarly, by using RESPR to avoid and manage wildfires, governments can reduce the devastating economic and environmental costs of these events. In other words, RESPR technology allows for more proactive planning than leaving the outcomes to the vagaries of weather and climate system. In conclusion, a sustainable future built on RESPR data is what the RESPR reasoning gives rise to for all countries around the world. RESPR technology is leading the way to maximize economic productivity and minimize losses due to weather and climate. By harnessing the power of the science-shaping RESPR technology, we are ready to make smarter decisions, optimize resource allocation, and build more resilient economies. The benefits of RESPR technology are manifold. It empowers businesses to increase productivity and reduce costs. It helps governments to mitigate the impacts of climate change as it applies to their respective countries and protect their citizens. And it paves the way for a more sustainable and prosperous future for all. In a world facing unprecedented challenges, RESPR does its part when it comes to weather and climate vagaries. Complex solutions have been developed to push the envelope, and it is time for you to act and benefit from as users. That is all of you governments and businesses.